Jeevesh Gupta sir. Sir is a founder and director of Protovilla LLP, project associate at Neogen IEDC ITS Engineering College. Sir is an upcoming entrepreneur and has been working in the field of innovation and R&D for 4 years and going to pilot his company this year as well. He has one patent in his name and several are under filing process. He has worked on more than 20 government funded projects and has gained knowledge of 3D printing, laser technology, and project development. He has gained international exposure when he participated in one of the three Indian teams in NASA Human Rover Exploration Challenge to represent India at NASA USA. Now, I would like to request Sir to kindly unfold his views and guide the participants. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Sushil. Firstly, I would like to know that this is the maximum participation of the session.
So 47.
47 is the maximum participation. Okay. So I wanted to share some views. First of all, I will share the presentation.
Hello.
So is it visible?
Yes, sir. It is clearly visible.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So guys, I wanted to share some projects and my basic motive is today to tell you about the business model canvas. Does anyone know what is a business model canvas? Basic idea. Okay, I wanted to know the audience. It is only the BTech students or any other branch also? And in BTech, which branch is present here? And which year? Sushil?
Yes, sir. Sir, they are BTech students. They are from first year, second year, and third year mainly.
And which branch is present here?
Sir, all branches.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. So the basic motive is to know about business model canvas, which we can start with our first slide if it is visible. So what is the business model basically? Business model is a way to know that how a company can start itself or a big company can grow itself. This business model canvas can be imposed on a two people startup also, and also for a full-fledged company like Tata, Birla, Reliance, and everyone here. So the business model canvas was initially proposed in 2005 by Mr. Alexander, and he was based on his earlier works on business model ontology. So basically, he was an economist who knew about the building blocks. How can a company run? And he has done a large research and development in which the building blocks were. He knew the building blocks of the business model. So it basically the next question is the business model canvas. What is a business model canvas? It is a basic representation of a business model which highlights all the key features of and the key factors which help you to grow the business itself, and how does the company should work along with the employees, the customers, and the revenue streams. Okay, so the business model has basically 9 parts. If it is visible to everyone, we can see the business model structure here on the right side in the photograph. There are 9 basic parts of the business model canvas, in which we can start with the customer segments, then value proposition, then channels, customer relationships, revenue streams, key resources, key activities, key relationships, and the cost structure. Now I'll be explaining all the parts of the business model one by one. We'll be starting with the customer segments. Okay, so Sushil, is everyone listening or not? If anyone can reply, who is
Yes, sir, listening.
Yes, sir. Yes,
okay.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So actually, in the online platform, it is very difficult to interact. So even if you are opening your mics and telling and reverting back, if there is any question, you can give it in the end. We'll have a Q&A session separately after the session. Okay. So first of all, we'll know about the customer segments. The customer segments are basically when you should know when you are starting a business or you are making a product. So you should know what does your customer base is. So you should know, are you solving a problem of the customer, or you are giving a satisfying a need of the customer. Uh, Basic difference between the problem and the need of the customer is a problem can be accounting problem, word programming, processing, etc. And the need of the customer could be entertainment, communication, like social media, Facebook and Instagram, Twitter, etc. The need can be a huge market space. As we speak of the business side, the needs of the product can be the needs of the customer can be a huge market space for you. Okay, and the problem is very specific, it's bound. So you have to identify your segment first, which segment you want to go. Then you have to identify what will be your product, who will buy your product, why he will buy your product. Then you come to the persona or the archetype. Persona or archetype is a type of person and their human behavior and their gestures on which you can identify them, and you can also locate them geographically on this basis. Like the customer segment in South India will be different from North India, and from country to country it can vary, from religion to religion it can vary. Okay, so it basically, your customer segment is not about your technology, or your product is not about your technology. It is basic that your what is your value proposition, and what do you give to your customer. So what the customer is having, the value proposition from your product. Okay, this is the basic concept of uh, customer segment. Then we are having value proposition. It will answer, basically it answers the question that what are you building, for whom you are building. Okay, so the what value does your product have. Okay, so it is catering a need or the problem. As you can see in the photograph on the right side, value proposition is basically interaction from your, which is the industry side, to the client profile, basic the client side. So if you match the needs or you solve a problem from the client side, then you will have a, for sure, have a successful business. Then we have the channels. Channels are basically in if we talk about in the mid 90s or early 90s, only there were present only physical channels. In the physical channels, we can go to the store, or we can go to the we can have sales executive, then we can have physical distribution from door to door. But nowadays, if since the last 2 decades after the establishment of online delivery platforms, we can say that we have virtual platforms such as websites. Then your question would be, how would I sell your product? Okay, or how will you distribute it? This question is very each of the student or entrepreneur, we can say that entrepreneur who is either he is doing a business, established business, and he's taking the business to a next step. Okay, then we have the product, that how does your company get the customers to, how does the product uh, gets to the come from the company to the customer side. In this, you can delivery you can do the delivery either by physical methods, or you can have the software part. Nowadays we have a computer science boom in India, so you can have the product as your service, or your product can be an actual physical product, both ways. Then we have the customer relationships. In customer relationships, we can we should know that how do I get the customers. Then second step is, how do you keep the customers. Then third step is how do you grow them. So in the first step, you can get the customers from different channels like online, nowadays social media marketing and online channels, newspapers also physically, if we say that, newspapers and news channels, etc., or advertisements. And then next step is how do you keep them. So the customer retention, basically, retaining your customer is very difficult in nowadays, because they have so much options. There's such a lot of competition in the market. So retaining your customer is very difficult. So it is the next step is more difficult than getting the customer, because the customer can come to you for a trial basis also. Okay, like if you are giving a trial offer or something like that. If you earlier in the first step, like subscription basis, everyone, Netflix, Amazon Prime, everyone has a lot of offers, like the Paytm method. The Paytm has also used the same method. They have got a large customer base, then they are trying to keep it, then they'll grow. So basically, the customer relationship and retention is very important. Then then comes the customer satisfaction, loyalty, service, reliability, and improvement in the quality and support. A customer needs a complete set of these. Then next we'll be talking about the revenue stream. Revenue stream is basically how do you make money from your product. Okay, product or service, and for what value is your customer is paying for. Like we have talked earlier, value proposition. Value proposition of a product will be what are you giving to the product. It may be technology, it may be a service, it may be anything that you are providing to the customer. Then we have the revenue model. Revenue types of revenue model will be direct sale model. Direct sale model means cash transaction, in which the customer will directly pay you the price. If you are selling a commodity or something like that, then suppose your product is of your cost price is 900 rupees and you're selling it for 1000, he'll just pay you 1000 rupees and he'll get back. Then second model is the freemium model. Freemium model is nowadays basically, if you know that, the Geo model also, that Geo had provided their customers, they had gained a customer base drastically in the first few months of their launch. They got a huge customer base. Then they hope later that they'll get a profit from that later on. Similarly, in the Geo case also, firstly the Reliance Communications has first provided you with the free SIMs and free network and free data for first few months. Then they were hoping that later on they'll gain profits, which we can all see. Then the third method is subscription model. Subscription model, like we have the Amazon Prime subscription. We have subscription in today's day. We have subscription model taken over by most of the companies, as we can see. Like